Okay, hi. Hello, fellow humans. Today I'm going to show you how to set up software so you can make your own games for the PlayStation Portable. Now, we do have to get a little bit cyberpunk up in here, so it's best to use incognito mode. The safest way to do that is to wear your incognito glasses, as we're going to have to obtain some software a little bit unofficially. Now, the software we'll be using to make games for the PSP is GameMaker 8.1. Now, normally I would not advise obtaining software unofficially, but this is now vaporware and it is no longer distributed by the distributor of that, and there's no way to buy it. I would strongly recommend, if there was still a way to buy GameMaker, then I would say absolutely pay for it, but we will have to obtain it unofficially. So let's go ahead and get this started by typing GameMaker 8.1 download. Now, if you type that into Google, the first thing you'll see on your search results here is Internet Archive, right? And again, for security reasons, you don't want to be tracked downloading software unofficially. Again, make sure you use your protection so you aren't identified doing this. So you'll just want to download all the files there. Some people will say certain things, but this is safe. It works fine. I use this to make PSP games. Some people say that it's only the light version, but it seems that they've missed some files. So if you go ahead and click on GameMaker, open that file, you want to make sure that you run the installer. And after you run the installer, you want to run the upgrader that you see there in the archive there. Now, GameMaker 8.1, there are resources for it, but if you try to look up tutorials or get questions asked for GameMaker, like if GameMaker how to move a sprite, or how to define a variable, you're going to get the wrong answer. And that is because you will get search results for the newest versions of GameMaker. So that will not help you. What you have to do when you are searching for information related to using GameMaker is type in, with quotation marks, GameMaker 8.1. And that will make sure that the search results that you get are specifically related to GameMaker 8.1. This is absolutely vital, very important. Now, the reason why I say use GameMaker 8.1 is that it's very easy to use. You can prototype and expand a game extremely quickly in GameMaker 8.1. It's a mature game engine that has a lot of support. There's so much information for it online, even though it is discontinued. But how do you get it to run on PSP? GameMaker produces exe files which run on Windows machines. So we will head back to Google and we will type in chovygm. As you see it spelled there, you'll see the GitHub. Go ahead and click on that, and there's version 0.03. You will find that there are certain incompatibilities, but you'll have to sort that out yourself. If you do have questions, if you run into some issues, of course you can go ahead and ask in the comment section below. I'll be more than happy to help you, but I'm not going to hold your hand. I'm not going to do all the work for you. I am not your dad, at least not your real one. So go ahead and download chovygm, and chovygm is just an exe file. Let's go ahead and download it. We'll just open it up and see here. Go ahead and click on that. You'll want to unzip that, but you guys know how to do all this stuff. You know how to do all that. What you need to do is run chovygm. So after you make your game in GameMaker 8. You say GameMaker 8, pump out my exe file, produce my game, and then you select that there. You'll select your file there. You can select your title. Leave these here, but you can see how to program controls in GameMaker. So if you open chovygm, I would recommend not changing these, leave these as they are. In GameMaker, you can see what you need to do. So if you need to use the cross button, you can see in GameMaker, tell your game to look for the Z button. If you want to use circle, use the X button, and so forth. Okay? So that's how you set that up. If you have any questions, please feel free to go ahead, ask in the comment section below. So that is all you need to make PSP games. Now, with GameMaker 8.1, there were ways to make 3D games with GameMaker 8.1, but it will not work on the PSP. You can kind of get some methods to work, but it runs at such a slow frame rate and it's broken and glitchy that it will not work. I've gone through so many different examples. If you happen to find a solution to get 3D working on GameMaker, go ahead and let me know. But there is an alternative way to set up and make games for PSP as well, and I'll cover that in the next video. So thanks for watching, my fellow humans. If you want to go ahead and like and subscribe, I don't really care because I'm not a YouTuber. I'm a games developer, and I'm just answering some questions that people ask me, and I just want to help some people out. So you guys can now make your own PSP games. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you around.
Alright everyone, I just want to take a moment to thank our incredible Patreon supporters. Thank you, all of you. Especially want to welcome Zinovia Ulyanov for joining Patreon and contributing to that. So thanks to everyone for helping me keep the lights on in the studio, and if you enjoy what I'm doing here on YouTube and would like to see me do more of these kinds of videos, then please consider joining the Patreon, where you'll have exclusive access to development ROMs as I develop my new homebrew games. We recently acquired development hardware for the Game Gear, so I'm making Game Gear games now, and we are working towards the Sega Saturn. So as we get more contributions for Patreon, I allocate those contributions towards paying business fees and any that I can set aside for acquiring hardware for development. I do that so I can make sure that I give back to you guys and I'm able to create something cool for all of you. So our next Patreon goal is the Sega Saturn, so if you would like to see some Sega Saturn homebrew games for the foreseeable future, you can go ahead and contribute to that at the Patreon as well. If there are any other guides for other legacy consoles that you would like to see, please let me know in the comments as well, and I will create guides on how to set up development environments for those. Thanks everyone, take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next video where I will cover more beautiful and wonderful topics.